Let's do this, everybody. Let's do it. Let's get to this draft. Our first draft with Pittsburgh. And again, thankfully, this team is starting to really be worse than I would have imagined it. We might, you know how we talked about, like, hey, what if we just fantasy draft and end up with the worst team possible? We might end up with the worst team possible anyway, which is great. But the drafts, we will stay with those dudes in the order, and we will go to the 2023 first year draft where we know that we have the #1 overall pick. And it's going to come down to either Mariano Perez. In my head canon, it's the son of Oliver Perez, so I'm very tempted. Quentin Sands at first base. We won't take the closer, Russell Senzel, but look at that. Our scouts might have found the steal of all steals. If they're right about this guy, holy hell. There's another first baseman in Orlando Ortega, and then there's Gilberto Coronado. I don't know what the hell to do in this draft first overall. Like, Russell Senzel is our pick in round 2. We have 2 second-round picks. We're taking this guy if he's available 41st, no doubt. Unranked, our scouts think he's the 3rd best, is amazing. Perez, Sands, Ortega, Coronado. It is one of these 4. And just to quickly look at Perez, who's 19 years old. I mean, in the future, it's viewing him. Honestly, those future stats are a little bit weird, aren't they? 100% scouted. Those future stats are a little bit weird. It's not really projecting him to be all that great in terms of attributes. That's a bit freaky. That's a little bit freaky. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that at all. And it's true, his max potential is a 93, but so is Quentin Sands. It's a little bit weird. Then there's Quentin Sands. Honestly, same thing for him. Now, he is a switch-hitting first baseman, which is awesome, at 20 years old. It's also not viewing him as like, hey, you're going to be elite at the plate. Like, it is, but it isn't. Like, the thing he's apparently going to excel at is discipline. Low injury risk. Then there's Senzel, who, again, we're not going to take in the first round. But second round, I mean, in terms of his ceilings, it looks a little bit more interesting. Decent velocity, but the break could be really good. High strikeouts, potentially. He's a weird one. 6'5" Canadian, by the way, because of course. Then there's Orlando Ortega. Now, see, that's more what you expect from a card like that. Look at those future projected attributes for first baseman Orlando Ortega. In terms of contact against lefties, my God. He's healthy. He passed the doctor's exam. Again, in terms of like what you'd look for, damn. And then there's this guy, Gilberto Coronado. Okay, and now here's the issue, right? He's 21. His potential has a very good chance of being an A, somewhere in the 60s for overall. But man, that projected future stamina, velocity, and break. The other attributes, though, I'm not so sure. And we have to get this right. We have to get this right. Again, our scouts say Perez is the top option. But I gotta be honest, based off of the attribute spread, I'm not seeing it. Right? Like, am I just looking at this the wrong way? I mean, our scouts say he's going to be awesome, but we look at those attributes. I don't see it. I don't see it. And then there's Quinton Sands, who doesn't look bad, but you directly compare Quinton Sands to Orlando Ortega, and I know who jumps off the page to me. Although you could argue, yes, Ortega has a slightly, it's 81-80 or 81-93, 81-91. So Ortega likely is a B, which is the issue. We're not going to take Senzel. And then you compare Perez to Coronado, and I mean, again, Coronado, this is a very good test, yes. Because if this backfires and it turns out this attribute screen isn't as important, well then damn. But yeah, I think you would naturally lean towards Ortega or Coronado at this stage. Again, Perez, our scouts say he's number one. MLB says he should be number one. Quinton Sands was a Blitz the League player, correct? He was, that is a character name from Blitz the League, 100%. Good shout. Good shout. The multi-sport athlete. Again, Sands is 20, so it's not like he's much younger. I think it's got to be Ortega or Coronado. And I get that people are intrigued by Coronado because it is there's a very high chance that he's an A potential. Again, the per nines are a little bit concerning. Per nines are a little bit concerning, but man, that future his current pitch velocity is promising, let alone the future. God, we got to get this right. We got to get this right. Who the hell do we take first? Coronado's overall could be low. It's true. I mean, you end up with him at like a 60 overall at 21 years old. Ugh. See, like I said, having a first overall pick, it's not always great. It puts a lot of pressure on when there's a lot of players that could be the pick. But I don't think we're going to trust our scouts on this one. Look at Russell Senzel, my God. Like, normally, for sure, we would have gone with Perez, but... it's got to be Ortega or Coronado. There's nobody else in that conversation. We have the number one overall pick. The number one overall pick. I just wanted to see if any of that information has changed. It has not. It is either Orlando Ortega, which if this guy does somehow end up being an A potential, he's going... basically, we just drafted Paul Goldschmidt. Or this Coronado. Again, such a great chance of being an A pitcher. Chat would go with Ortega. Interesting. That's not how I thought that poll would go. He does have a very nice bonus demand. There's always a lot of pitchers. That's a factor, too. Man, we got to get this right. We got to get this right. That velocity, that break. Fucking Ortega. I don't know. What a terrible night for a curse. I have no confidence in this choice. I don't. It's true. Like, if Ortega's an 82 potential, that's a disaster for us. I hate this. I hate this because I just feel like we're going to get it wrong. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know. Eeny, meeny, miny, no. Okay, we're ruling out Perez. We're ruling out Sands. Ortega and his potential ability at the plate. He's the guy. I don't know how I feel about it, but he's the guy. I hope to God our scouts are right. I hope to God our scouts are right. I hope they're right. Actually, I hope they're wrong because they said he was the 5th best. I hope he's actually number 1. We take Coronado. 1st overall. I hope we're right. 2nd overall, the Washington Nationals select first baseman Quinton Sands. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, what our scouts were looking like, if we should worry about attributes. This is a very interesting first draft, that's for sure. 3rd overall, the Detroit Tigers select first baseman Steven Rivera. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So obviously neither of these two will still be on the board. The guy that we're worried about later on is that reliever who was projected to be undrafted. 4th overall, Texas takes Orlando Ortega. Have we helped out Pittsburgh to an immense extent, or did we make the right choice? That is the question. And 5th overall, Minnesota gets Mariano Perez. Are the Twins perhaps the big winner? And 6th, wow, Oakland goes for the closer. 6th overall, Tadahito Chan. That's a choice. That's a choice. Starting pitcher Estevan Uribe goes to Cincy. Our scouts did not like him at all. All 4 players you had on your board were gone. Yeah. So Estevan Uribe off the board. Kansas City takes starting pitcher Tobias Sterling. Our scouts hated him. Oakland's doing a Japan United. That's for you, T-Cage. That's for you. Colorado at 9 takes Aiden Nieves, whatever you prefer, the second baseman. He was projected 19th and is apparently hurt. Miami takes starting pitcher Thomas Cameron. He was projected 18th. He goes top 10. Well, I guess our scouts weren't the only guy to find him. I guess our scouts weren't the only guys to find him. I can't believe he's not going to be available in round 2, but it is believable that someone else would have found him too. 12th overall, Arizona takes right fielder Rich Brady. Again, our scouts did not like him at all. Ty, thank you for the sub, buddy. Welcome in. Enjoy the most random collection. Chicago? Honey? Why? Why would you do that, though? 70th projected relief pitcher Nolan Oliver. 13th overall. Okay. 14th, Boston takes left fielder Julian Sanchez. Might be okay. 15th, White Sox take starting pitcher Jose Pinto, who was projected high. Our scouts didn't like that. We're going to have somebody good available in round 2, if not 2 more good picks. That's nice. San Fran takes Robert Beltre, the starter. Our scouts liked him a decent amount. Baltimore gets Guadalupe Estrada, who was projected 52nd. We knew nothing about him. Milwaukee gets starting pitcher Domingo Lugo. Tampa takes closer Steve McGill. What is with the closers going early? They normally wait until round 2. Third baseman Brian Hernandez goes to Toronto. Cardinals take starting pitcher Chad Grimes. Was projected 31st. Seattle takes second baseman Theo Felton. Was projected 30th. First baseman Sammy Gomez off to Cleveland. And relief pitcher Val Winchester goes 24th to Atlanta. I have never seen so many relievers taken in round 1. Jamie Orozco, shortstop, goes to the Padres. What a weird first round. Yankees take second baseman Brian Casto. This is easily one of the weirdest first rounds we've seen yet. Phillies take starting pitcher Eli Harvey, son of Matt, 29th projection. Houston at 28 take shortstop Rich DeSilva. It's not a huge reach or anything like that based off projection. You got the Mets at 29 who take left fielder Ricky Otto. And then obviously the Dodgers will round us out for round number 1. And they take Steven Batista, second baseman who was projected 88th. Competitive balance round stands in our way of our second round picks. Seattle takes Luis Pena. Let's actually just go ahead and sim to this pick. So Luis Pena off the board, Manny Montanez, Alberto Calderon. Here go the rest of those relievers. Rex Combs, first baseman. You got Ken Flores, Christopher Patterson. We didn't know enough about him, but damn, Detroit might have done well. Walter Culver and Bob Coles. And to start round 2, Sergio Salinas off the board, as is Terrell Finley. So that leaves us 3.5 minutes. And according to Team Rank and who we have scouted, it's already looking kind of barren because we so had to focus on round 1. Welcome to Best Guess territory. Best Guess territory. This is, this is not where we wanted to be right now. Napoleon West is a great name. Oh, boy. I mean, Antoine Kovaleski, great name. Get ready to pick off a name and facial hair, right? That or we just go off of who our scouts were thinking, but... So if we were to go off of who our scouts were thinking, I mean, Steven Diaz was there. Napoleon West, Kareem, I mean, Kareem Gates is a pretty good name. There's Manuel Zarate. I mean, Kovaleski, in terms of that potential, he and BJ Sandoval. Sandoval, son of the Panda. Kovaleski's an interesting one. You got 2 minutes. All right, we don't know much about this guy, but boy, that potential's looking pretty damn good. Okay. Remove Steven Diaz. Remove Lopez. Remove West. Get rid of Feliz. It's one of these 4. It's going to be one of these 4. We did just take a starter. I mean, that guy's name is literally Carlos Delgado. Amazing. Amazing. 22 years old, huh? I mean, it's best guess. We don't have anything about them. We can go for Carlos Delgado Jr. Pandaval. What do we think? Do we take Carlos Delgado Jr.? I'm even going to add Jr. to his name, too, if we do take him. Again, pure best guess territory. It's our first year draft. We don't have a specific need. We need everything. All right, Carlos Delgado Jr., welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We'll go to our next pick. Again, since we know nothing about anybody that's left, let's just go for it from now on. 75th. Got Russell Kendall, Todd Silva, Hector Valentine, Thomas Weinstein. We're going to avoid Weinsteins at all costs, sir. Sorry about that. Sean Valdez, Peter Felton, Sam Stockton, Bruce Cartwright, Abe Burgess. This fucking game. Bobby Brady. Hello, Bobby Brady. Is that the son that Tom kissed on the mouth? Have you been blessed? It's also shortstop Fernando Flores. Russell Kendall, son of Jason. Bobby's 23. I mean, hey, who even cares? $23 or not. Look at those future numbers. Bobby the Mouth Brady. Flores' futures, from what we know about, are terrible, but Bobby's might be half decent. Bobby Brady, son of Tom. Come on down. I'm going to rename him to Bobby Tom. And we're going to get Flores, too. Perfect. Fernando, come on down. There we go. Round number 4. We got John McLeod. Miguel Coronado. Wheels, listen to the most recent podcast. You will know our answer. Solid beard on Roberto Huerta. Andreas Casto also has a good potential. Jerome Young. Fucking New Jack? It's the white New Jack. Johnny DaCosta. Silva, Danny Scott. There's a lot of guys with half-decent potentials as far as unscouted players go. There's also Terrence Oliver. Ken Caminiti. Lukács. Bart Powell. Forrest Martin. Rick Rahav. Rahav? Who's to say? Well, in terms, we're probably not going to do renamings now. We're going to rule out Huerta because that potential kind of sucks. Sorry about the beard, though. Jerome Young, potential's looking all right. DaCosta, Danny Scott, Oliver. So, again, unconfirmed potential, obviously, but Oliver is looking all right. Wheels tomorrow. I was having rendering issues with it. It really likes Danny Scott, apparently, for velocity and pitch break. Same for DaCosta. For that reason, we're going to rule out Jerome Young. Sorry to New Jack. I mean, do we really want to take another starting pitcher? Oh, let's see. Not that Terrence Oliver looks good. Apparently, he might have power, and that's about it. But again, we don't really know anything about him. And rule out Danny Scott. Honestly, yeah, DaCosta's kind of looking like the guy here. Johnny DaCosta, welcome aboard. Again, we're hoping for the best. We're hoping for the best. Is that Castro, not Casto? Well, there was a Casto earlier, so fucking excuse me for misspeaking. Let's see. Brian and ooh, Daryl Wise. Yes. The redneck fortune teller, Daryl Wise. Wheels, yes it is. Also got Pete Zambrano, Eloy Hidalgo. Shout out to Lyle Patrick. Oh, son of Richie. Oh, you can't throw a Sexton out there and expect me to not want to draft him. Ain't that a bitch? Connie Dickinson. Anybody else with a good potential? Cletus Hand. Old Cletus Hand. Again, I'm basing it off of projected potentials first before names. Mike Van Dyke. Ooh, John Lewis. We're basing it off of potentials first, and then names and beards can be a deciding factor, okay? That's how this works. All right. So, Daryl Wise. Not looking that promising. Pete Zambrano. Not really looking all that promising. Hidalgo. That's okay. Hidalgo's in there so far. Connie Dickinson is going to be fast, and that's it. That's a shame, Connie. Cletus Hand. Might have good velocity. That's about it. Hidalgo's still looking like the best. Van Dyke looks like he's going to be trash. Alberto Miranda. Not looking that bad. Palmeiro's going to be bad. Johnson's going to be bad. Eli Mata's going to be bad. Well, we're down to one of these two relievers because we do still have to be somewhat try-hard. I mean, it's got to be it's got to be Hidalgo. I'm sorry the good names didn't quite make it, but who would chat pick? Hidalgo and Miranda. I mean, Ender, you're fast on those. I mean, let's be honest. Doesn't make too much of a difference, but Hidalgo might have that slightly better potential. So, I mean, yeah, Hidalgo's the guy. Welcome aboard. And our final pick in round number 6, Miranda's actually still there, but given... Ooh, Jackson Wheeler. Given that this is our final pick, again, we already looked at Van Dyke. His numbers weren't looking that good. We looked at Palmeiro. We looked at Johnson. Eli Mata wasn't looking that good. Is there anybody else? No. So, well, cool. We're going to get Miranda, too. A lot of pitching in this first draft. A whole lot of pitching was the way that the cookie kind of crumbled for us. Home Run Derby, who's going to be involved? Rafael Devers. Imagine trading that guy in a franchise mode.